Okay, before we get into it, major spoiler warning. Well, not major, but like minor spoilers for The Owl House, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Gravity Falls, and Amphibia. So if you don't want to be spoiled for any of those shows, shoo, bye, leave, go. Okay, hey guys. In this video, I'm going to be telling you why The Owl House is the best Disney show for real. In a different video, I talked about why it's I lied about saying that. I just told you to watch it, but in this one, I'm actually going to be describing it. So if you don't want spoilers or anything, be gone. So yeah. There are only really 4 good Disney shows: Gravity Falls, Amphibia, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and The Owl House. Now, before I say anything about these shows, let's make one thing clear. I absolutely adore all of these shows. They're all some of my all-time favorites, but The Owl House is the best of them. If you disagree, make sure to comment below. I will make sure to not care. And yeah, let's get into the video. So, The Owl House, first of all, let's compare it to Gravity Falls. So, Gravity Falls is an amazing show with that's got a very good story and character design. But the story is kind of like, it's good, but there's not much of it. Like, the whole thing with Stanford Pines not being Stanford Pines and actually being Stanley Pines, amazing. And McGucket, Society of the Blind Eye, amazing. But and Bill and all the stuff, it's all so good. But there's not enough of it, like nowhere near enough story. I love that show. But The Owl House, on the other hand, just watch it. There's so much story going on. Like any random background, well, not background character, but you point at any of the important characters and you say, what's their backstory? And bam, all of it. It's insane. It's all, pretty much all of them except for like the two kids that are Luce's friends have insane backstories. So yeah. And like, yeah, it's all insane. So that is why The Owl House is better than Gravity Falls. Now let's get into why it's better than Amphibia. So The Owl House, in my opinion, by the way, this whole video is just an opinion. So if you disagree, you're entitled to that opinion. You're not entitled to harass me in the comments. Amphibia is very good, and it has backstory, a lot of it, in fact. But every scene that doesn't involve backstory feels kind of low quality. Like, I love this show, it's so good, but every scene feels just a little bit like, I don't know how to describe it exactly. It just feels a little low quality. The Owl House, it has a lot of scenes that don't involve the plot, but they all feel like high quality, well-made, well put together scenes that make sense. And in Amphibia, its highs are just as good as Owl House's highs, but its lows are lower than Owl House's lows. So that's why I like Owl House more than Amphibia. Now let's get on to why it's better than Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Okay, now Star vs. the Forces of Evil might just be the best out of the 3, aside the best out of these that isn't The Owl House. But, and that's true. I absolutely adore Star vs. the Forces of Evil. But it kind of feels like they went in random directions towards the later seasons. Like making Mina the main antagonist, she was supposed to be a one-off character. And yeah, the whole thing just felt kind of weird. And Star destroying magic, that doesn't really seem like a fitting end. It wasn't very satisfying. It was cool, but it wasn't satisfying. And yeah, and Toffee was just a great antagonist, but he didn't. I feel like Toffee was the best part of the show, like 100%. You can't disagree with me on this. Toffee is the best part of the show, and they killed him off in season 2. So yeah, I feel like they just went. It was all good. They had all the dominoes set up, but they didn't knock him over properly. They had all the story. The story was amazing, but what actually the story, in my opinion, just as good as the Owl House's story. But the execution of the show, just in my opinion, isn't quite as good as the Owl House. So yeah, that is why, in my personal opinion, you're entitled to your own opinion, but in my personal opinion, the Owl House is the best Disney show. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.